What's up, boxing bros and broettes? So I'm leaving the gym. I just wanted to touch on this real quick because this is some BS. One of the Facebook boxing bros, what's up, Tom, said he caught up with the ESPN card, and you know, it was an egregious statement made by one of the commentators. What you say his name was, Tom? Mark Kriegel, something like that. I didn't see the card, so I'm just going off of Tom's word. He's a reliable dude, so you know, he's not like he's lying. But this guy tried to insinuate that Andre Ward, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, after, you know, before he retired, the man that moved up to 175, fought the boogeyman of the division twice. First fight, you know, barely won, controversial, could have went other ways. Second fight, he took Kovalev's heart, stopped him, you know, made him quit, made him fire his trainer, basically have a come to Jesus moment. Now he's twirling around in the ring so he can recover faster from being dazed or being knocked down. Kovalev, that is. I don't know what they got this man doing now, but he's soul searching now after what Andre Ward did to him in the second fight. But anyway, after saying all of that, he's insinuating that this man, Andre S.O.G. Ward, the last Olympic gold medalist for the U.S. in boxing, retired because he's trying to avoid fighting Beterbiev. What? Like, I'm trying my best to keep it clean because this is the kind of stuff that we deal with in the sport of boxing when it comes to these irresponsible, fanboy biased journalist commentators that, you know, they're disguised as journalist commentators, but they really fanboys, casuals, and they're biased. They play favorites, have a platform, and they fuel on or they egg on the casuals and the fanboys of these fighters. They egg them on. So it almost sounds like dude is pissy because Kovalev got his nuts took by Ward, and he was supposed to be the boogeyman. The boogeyman got beat up and bullied, like a lot of us said he was gonna do. That Ward, all he had to do was bully him because Kovalev can't fight on the inside, and he's soft to the body. Like, I'm not an amateur boxer, or, you know, I'm just a spectator of the sport, and I love the sport, and I've been watching it since I was a little kid. Ever since I saw Roy Jones, I've been caught up in boxing. And even I could see that. I could see Kovalev's weaknesses. So I knew what was going to happen when Ward fought him a second time. A lot of people said he was going to stop him. So you telling me that Andre Ward is scared of Beterbiev? What? Like, he's avoiding him. Dude, Andre Ward hasn't avoided anybody in his whole career. Like, what? What are you talking about, dude? Really? Like, this is so irresponsible. You just can't. You have to have some kind of journalistic integrity as a commentator when you have a platform like that. Andre Ward retired because he's not in love with the sport anymore. He doesn't have the itch, and there's no point for a man to be fighting in a dangerous combat sport like boxing, where people have died in the ring. People are comatose now, have brain injuries. James Toney, when he speaks, it sounds like he's gargling with rocks. You know, I just watched a video, and I love James Toney, one of my favorite fighters of the 90s. I'm not trying to talk down, I'm just trying to make a point of how dangerous the sport is. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just watched a video that Meldrick Taylor, when he fought Chavez, and he should have won that fight. But he got robbed. The way he speaks now, or the way he was speaking during that documentary, it's just sad. So That's why he retired. He retired because there's no point for a man, if he falls in love with the sport, he doesn't have that fire anymore. He doesn't need to be in the ring because that's a dangerous situation. And then especially for a guy like Ward, who hasn't lost a fight since he was what, 12, 13 years old? You know, cleaned out 168. He was an underdog in the Super 6. He cleaned it out. He won every one of those fights decisively. Now, the way he did Carl Froch, with a messed up shoulder, by the way, beat him with one hand. Some people don't know that. Carl Froch's family said, we don't want you to ever fight him again. Knocked out Chad Dawson, and Dawson wanted to move down. Hey, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Chad Dawson said he wanted to move down. He was the first man to stop bad Chad Dawson. And this is a dude that is afraid of avoiding a fighter. No, he has nothing left to prove. He's proven everything he needed to prove in the sport of boxing. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's never cheated the sport, as far as we know. Never had, you know, never used PEDs. And see, one of the things about PEDs, I'm gonna just say this real quick. One of the things PEDs, PEDs or steroids, whatever gear, whatever you want to call it, they also have healing properties to them. So a lot of the times when guys get hurt in sports, they do use PEDs to heal faster, like HGH and you know, testosterone or whatever, nandrolones. They literally help with tissue repair. That's why bodybuilders are so big, because the protein synthesis is taking place at a faster rate. But anyway, that's getting into a whole nother subject. But Ward never cheated the sport. He didn't duck anybody, didn't avoid anybody. You know, he's a family man. I know some people are into, you know, are believers. Some people aren't. You know, he's a Christian guy, never been in any trouble. Nothing, never says the wrong thing. He's not cocky. He's confident. He's a great role model. And it's just like some people just have to find something to say about this guy. We know what it is, but this commentator is just being a player hater. Like, really? Ward has nothing left to prove in the sport. He's one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my life. You know, I can't pick too many people recently in history that I think would have a good chance of beating him. Like, you know, the homie Curtis, he's been arguing with people about in their primes who will win Roy or Ward. Now, personally, I think Roy Jones would beat Ward, just because in Roy's prime, we've never seen a more athletically gifted fighter, or probably just all around gifted fighter than Roy Jones. The reflexes, the timing, the speed, the power in both hands. We've never seen anything like that. I think that would be too much for Ward to overcome, but it's one of those things where you're talking about it's a legitimate argument between a guy that may in his prime may be the greatest fighter of all time in Roy Jones and Andre Ward. Like, it's not like a foregone conclusion. That's how good Andre Ward is. If a lot of you remember how good Roy was in the 90s, it's close. It's a 50-50 fight between him and Roy in his prime. That's how good Ward is. Ward ain't never ducked nobody, man. So I just wanted to say that real quick, because when I heard that, I got really angry, because that's one of the things that I can't stand. It's just, you know, lack of journalistic integrity. You know, you're on a pedestal. You have a platform. Excuse me. You have a platform, and you have to be responsible with that platform, especially in this sport, because you have a lot of fans that aren't knowledgeable about the sport. Now, I'm not saying that I know everything about it, but I may follow it a little closer than some people do. And there's people that follow it way closer than I do. But, you know, you don't want to paint a biased picture of it. And that's why I like the Showtime commentary better than HBO and ESPN. Now, I like Teddy Atlas. Teddy is very passionate about the sport, but for the most part, he's fair, you know, and I like to hear that. I want to see fairness. I don't like it when these guys are on have this platform and their bias comes through. That's why I can't stand listening to Jim Lampley. And there's other guys, their bias just comes through, and you can't stand listening to them because of that. But some people that don't recognize that, they're actually swayed by commentary and the opinions of these commentators and these boxing experts. And when they're being subjective instead of being objective, you get these people that just spew out and repeat this rhetoric that's not even true. We've all heard it with different fighters. It's just rhetoric. You know, a Triple G is, you know, straight up and down. He can only fight one way. That's not true. You know, Floyd, all he does is run and hug. That's not true. You know, Andre Ward, for instance, he's avoiding Beterbiev. That's not true. We all know these things aren't true, but these fans, some of these fans that aren't as knowledgeable, that don't follow the sport like that, when they hear these things, they just repeat them. So I believe it is the commentators, the experts, and the journalists it's their responsibility to educate these fans on the sport and be objective when talking about certain fights, talking about fights and fighters. Have some objectivity with your reporting and your journalism. That's all I'm saying, guys. But yeah, I just had to touch on that real quick because, man, with Tom, when you posted that, my blood started boiling. I was in the gym. I was so mad, man, because you know how it is, man. All the boxing bros, we see this all the time. Jody, you already know for years what we were going through on the forums with the whole Floyd, Manny Pacquiao crap. And, you know, on both sides, you know, hating on Floyd, hating on Manny, just making them. It's like, man, these guys are great. Leave them alone. Like, you know, really, we know boxing is a business and everything, but it's just, you know, sometimes I just have I guess I get triggered when dealing with these casual fans and these commentators that just spew out this BS. I just get triggered by it because I just, and it's not me showing bias to Ward. It's just that, let's be fair, guys. Let's be fair. You know, when we're talking about these fighters, because these guys are warriors, all of them, no matter what style they fight in. Boxing is dangerous. So let's keep it real. I don't think any boxer is scared of another man or is avoiding, you know, they purposely avoid people. Now, some cases, Riddick Bowe throwing the belt in the trash can so he didn't have to fight Lennox. That, you know, yeah, we know what that was. But for the most part, come on now, Andre Ward ain't avoided nobody. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say that they need to put that journalist on some kind of paid leave, or, you know, have somebody talk to him, because that was just crap, that comment that he made. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. As always, in the comment section, share, like, comment, and subscribe. It's a Bro Hammer signing out.